also about some new paradigm shifts about anger to way before your anger can hijack your brain and the rest of your emotions and force you to do things and say things that you normally wouldn't, how we can short circuit that or develop new paradigms. Okay, so number one, I heard a great slogan the other day that said, to understand all, how's it go? Oh, to understand all is to forgive all. Now that sounds very biblical, and I don't know if I like talking about biblical things here on the show, but when I thought about that, it says to me that if I can understand why that person did what he did or said what he said, I might, well, maybe not necessarily forgive him, maybe not necessarily let it slide, but okay, I could understand that. Okay. So if someone comes up to me and says, you know, you are a real big jerk. Why? What happened? Instead of like, what do you mean I'm a jerk? You're a bigger jerk. What do you mean I'm a jerk? Well, you know, the other day when you were on the air, you used a four-letter word and my child was watching, and that is totally inappropriate. How dare you do that? Okay, now I can defend myself, or I could say, okay, I can understand you have a child, you raise your child without cursing, without four-letter words, and there I was, he was watching me and I used a four-letter word. Okay, I can understand that. I'm not thrilled about you coming yelling at me, but you know what? I can understand where you're coming from. I now understand why he's angry at me. Okay, does that make it better the way he came to me? Well, maybe not, but if I understand that, I don't have to defend myself, and that's a very big thing, not to have to defend myself. Now, talking about four-letter words, okay? Here's another one for, well, actually, in The Godfather, who was it said to Sonny, don't take it personal, it's only business. Okay, so here's a great slogan that I heard someone, a friend of mine in Al-Anon, talked about this. And they said, don't take it personal, even if it is personal. Well, how do you do that? Think about that for a moment, huh? Okay, I heard it put in another slightly different context, which helped me a lot. Saying goes, they're not doing it to you, they're just doing it. Oh, it's about them. Okay, but they're doing it to me. Okay, then I read a book that put it into a whole other different context that I got right away. Guy was sitting with his girlfriend in the park under a tree on a bench, and they're talking, enjoying the sun, and all of a sudden a bird poops on it. That's a four-letter. Pooping is a four-letter word, but okay, well, I can't think of another one. Okay, so the bird poops on his head. Then he gets enraged and wants to get a rock and throw it at that dumb bird. You dumb bird, I will kill you if I got a hold of you. And she said to him, in the story in the book, I'm going to have to use a bad word. Okay, he's not pooping on you, he's just pooping. So I immediately got that. So, you know, take it personally, that bird pooped on me. Out of all the people in this park, there's 10,000 people in a park, that bird picked a branch above my head so it could poop on me because I'm wearing a brand new shirt. I hate that bird. But no, whoever was sitting here, that bird would have pooped on. So that helps a lot. And, it's another paradigm type of a shift to trick your mind, to not let your anger take you hostage. Okay, well, I guess if I'm wearing a new shirt and a bird poops on me, I'm not going to like it, but I'm not going to fly off the handle if I could understand the bird is just doing something that it does. It has nothing to do with me. So that when someone in the street comes up to me and says, "You are nothing but an ugly jerk," it really has nothing to do with me. It is all about them and their anger. It has nothing to do with me. So when a person can be aware of themselves in that way, then they don't necessarily have to get angry. They can prevent their brain from hijacking them. Okay, I have a couple more of these. Okay, that if you get hysterical, it's historical. So what does that mean? If you fly off the handle when someone says something to you, then probably it has a lot to do with your past and someone doing this to you in your past, okay? So we have a caller. Is the number blocked or can we see it? We can see the number? Okay. Hello, caller. You're on the air and we're talking about anger. Caller, you're on the air. Okay, we can't hear you, so we're going to say sorry and good night to you. Okay, call back if you can. So, if it's hysterical, it's historical, and it has nothing to do with that person. That's the key. We don't make those people suffer for our anger. So, I'm talking with a client the other day, actually, comes to my office, and he's having a difficult relationship with his family, well, specifically his wife. And he likes to say this: she made me so angry. And now we have to talk about this. She made me angry. Now, okay, we all sort of understand what that means, but can she really, really make you angry? Does she put a gun to your head and say, get angry, I'll kill you? Can anyone really make us angry? Well, the fact is, really, no one can make us angry without our participation in that. We're the ones who decide that we'll either get angry or we'll become curious or we will become hurt. We can learn to decide which emotion, which response we're going to go with. So I keep telling him, no, she doesn't make you angry. She says things and you decide to become offended over them, okay? She may be saying terrible things to you, but I could be saying those same things to you. Would you get angry? And he said, no, I wouldn't. Oh, why do you choose not to get angry if I say the exact same things? So we have some control over that. We can learn how not to let our anger hijack us. Okay, so anger in the home. We were talking about this, and he said it's, I'm not going to mention his name, but he said it's okay for me to talk about this topic and him to a degree. So he gets angry at his wife and rolls his eyes at her, and and says things like, why do you say that? And all the time he has a 4-year-old child. Now, child may not realize what the words mean, but does the child see the mother being treated a certain way? The child is not fully formed. The child really can't think about this, but the child is sensing something. What is the child sensing? Or even older children in a home. They see the mother hurt. They see loud words as hurting the mother. They see a tone of voice as hurting the mother. They may feel protective of the mother. That's a very normal thing. I love my mother. I don't want her to cry. I don't want her to be yelled at. Who's yelling at my mother? Oh, it's my father, who I love. Oh, but my father, who I love, is yelling at my mother that I love. I need this to stop. Something must give. I don't know what to do. I can't do anything. My mother is being hurt. My father is hurting my mother. I hate my father. Oh no, I hate my father. What a terrible boy I am. Oh, I must not hate my father. Oh, I hate my mother. Oh no. Do you see, I'm over dramatizing this, but when a child sees parents interacting a certain way, it hurts them, it wounds them, it confuses them to pieces. They don't know what to do with it. Should I feel protective of my mother? If I feel protective of my mother, am I ignoring my father? Should I be protective of my father? It confuses a child and it causes a lot of conflict, especially later on in life. And if you love your child, you must act lovingly towards his mother. You have no choice in this. You have no choice. If you love your child, you must act lovingly towards his mother. You can't do it any other way. You can't take a child aside and say, listen, I really love mommy, but we're having some differences. No, those are words that don't really register. Those are words that will confuse him even more. And he said to me, oh, but I don't treat my child that way. Wrong. We are the way we are. And when push comes to shove in certain situations, he will be this way with his child too. And do you want your child to grow up afraid of the day that you will become angry at him? Will a child have to learn how to protect himself early on in life from your possible impending anger? Will he need to create distance from himself to you so that he doesn't get to be on the wrong side of your anger? You can say, I'm probably getting very passionate about this. Some of this goes back to my childhood too. All of our childhood, right? So anger, we have to learn to prevent our brain from getting hijacked by our anger. There's a lot of things that we could do. And also the way we express our anger. Okay. So no one makes you angry. You decide to get angry on your own, okay? There was a great episode of Ricky Ricardo on the old I Love Lucy show. When, you know, Ricky Ricardo, for those who know I Love Lucy, he would go haywire, and she would call him my Cuban whatever it was, but he would always lose his temper. And one day someone taught him that when you're the owner of the club is going to call you to negotiate the contract for the club, and the owner is going to try to get a lot of money, to not pay you a lot of money, and you want him to pay you a lot of money. So the owner of the club is going to give you a very, very low ball figure. And Ricky, do not get angry. So normally Ricky would say, "What do you mean $1,000 an hour? There's no way I'm going to work for $1,000 an hour." So this time what Ricky did was said, "Sorry, but $1,000 an hour won't work for me." And the owner of the club didn't know what to do with that. He went, "What do you mean?" He couldn't understand. Ricky's not getting angry, and it threw him for such a loop that finally he said, "Okay, Ricky, how much do you want?" "Well, I want 5,000 an hour." But the point was, it wasn't how much he got. The point was that Ricky learned a strategy, which was that if he doesn't lose his temper, the guy doesn't know what to do in his negotiation, because when he lost his temper, the owner of the club said, "I got him now, I got him now." Okay, so we have about 2 minutes left to go. There were a couple of examples. Maybe we'll bring them up next week. Okay. I wanted to tell a joke about, well, before I tell this joke, let's see how much of this I can get in here. What's that old song? We always hurt the one we love, the one we shouldn't hurt at all. I should probably never sing on my song, should I, huh? All right, but anyway, I did that. Forgive me, please. Why is it that we always hurt the one we love? I'm going to leave this as a riddle for next week. The question is, why is it that we always hurt the one we love, or the ones we love, or why is it that we always hurt the ones that are closest to us, that mean the most to us? I'm not going to answer that question tonight. I'm going to see what the audience comes up with. You can call next week at this number right here. Again, 212-757-2076, or you can email me right here, jerry@jerry.tv. Or you can go to the website, and the blog is on the website at www.askjerry.tv. You go to the blog page on the website, and it's an interactive page. I hope it's up. We've been working on it because my computer crashed last week. But on the blog, there's interactive elements. You can post comments. I can answer the comments on there. So do that. So how much time is left actually now? We have 34 seconds left to go. So you're probably dying to know the answer to the question of why is it that we always hurt the ones we love, okay? But I'm not going to go into that. What I'll probably do is, in the last couple of seconds, sing my favorite song. I know I shouldn't sing again, but here we go. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, keep smiling on till then.